Okay, hi, welcome back all. Let me quickly grab my stuff. Yeah. So I thought I'd do some line work, but I changed my mind because I also want to practice shading, and well, this is going to be a nice, challenging one to add some shading from. General light source or light direction is going to be somewhat well from the top and from the right. So that's gonna give me, for the most part, some insights. And here, for this kind of shading, it's important to simplify again. Maybe I'll grab a scrap piece of paper. Yeah, this one will do. So for the shading, even though I've now added detail and anatomy, I do want to go back to indicating the simple volumes underneath, right? So this is the simple volume for his rib cage, and with the light coming from this particular direction, I could of course expect this area to not receive any light. And if the arm is sticking out as a cylinder like that, then the underside of the arm I could once again expect to not receive any light. And we get to the pelvis area right here, thinking that it's pretty much straightforward. It's maybe the side and down to the crotch where the light cannot reach anymore. So we'll get this connection like that. And this leg, seen from here and expecting some shadow being cast on it. Well, maybe it's not completely in shadow, maybe most of it can catch light, but I could expect, yeah, due to the angle and the way it's moving backward, that it maybe falls in shadow completely. I'm not sure yet, but could be. And the other leg is here, is turning toward me as a cylinder, and with the light coming from the top right, the majority of the mantle would be in shadow. For this other leg, pretty much turned downward all the way, it might, save for some tiny sliver here on top, be completely in shadow. So this is the way I'm thinking about it. Other arm, head is an egg shape. To at least give me some guidance. And yeah, I think this will work, especially with this right leg, the one to our left, being cast completely in shadow. Might be cool. We can of course erase it and, well, see what happens if we say, well, where the leg is turning under, it'll catch some light or shadow, but the rest will remain in light. And that also might work. I think I like the dramatic effect of everything in shadow a bit better, as if this part of the body is casting, well, at least for a large part, some shadow on him. Even the hands, of course, I could regard as a plane, and probably this plane turned toward the left can stay in shadow, and the fingers, well, we'll just see. Probably the underside of the thumb catching a bit of shadow, and so on and so forth. So let's try to apply this in its simplicity to our more intricate figure. And I'll mainly, you know what I'll do first maybe? I'll just tone the entire blue part of his suit. Maybe that's a good idea, because I can add a layer of shading on top of that. So now I'm quickly trying to implement some value. It is a very light value, but it distinguishes the white of the suit or the red of the suit from the blue. And maybe on top of that I can darken it for the shadows. And it's always a little bit of the question how well this shows up on camera. Here in the actual world, it shows up quite nicely. It's slightly darker, but I reserve plenty of, well, value for the shading. And I think it shows up on camera relatively nicely. Camera does tend to, well, not be as sensitive to subtle changes in value, but now it seems okay. So maybe over this I'll try and add some shading. So like I said, the entire ball here now showing a little bit of the undulations due to all the musculature. And okay, I already learned something. Probably it's gonna be more clever to reserve the local value, the blue that I added in gray, for later, but I can work with it. I wanna kind of reserve these areas of the serratus where probably the light catches still, move into the muscles here for the shoulder. Well, this is all gonna be darker. Let's just fill this in. And by the way, nothing here is sacred yet. So I don't have to worry too much that what I do here is irreparable. It really isn't. Show a little bit of the indentation for the abs. catching shadow, and then off to the, well, crotch here along the groin line. I think I said I wanted to make the whole leg fall in shadow. Let's do that. I should think about the way in which I'm applying the hatching, but so a lot of shadow here on this leg, maybe a tiny sliver of light still hitting this inside muscle. Who knows? And just this calf here will definitely catch a little bit of light, and this is all gonna be dark. Dark, 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 probably the whole foot as well. Now I could use a blending stump, maybe I'll do that in a bit, and kind of smooth out some of these scratch marks. But okay, for now I'll work with this and move on to the neck here. Shadow being cast by the jaw onto this neck, and like I said, the head mainly in egg shape. Even a white of the eye would probably catch a little bit of shading. Then perhaps just a tiny sliver of this bicep muscle, and the underside of the arm. Let's see, this will catch less light, or more light, I mean. Well, it's a relatively quick pass, which hopefully shows you a bit of the logic. And it's definitely very rough. I think many comic book artists would prefer a much more refined line sketch first, and come in with shading, and much clearer shading as well, depending or concerning the two values. but okay. I am trying to increase or decrease the tonal value of everything blue, and I'm applying some cross hatching, which is maybe a little bit dangerous, but okay. I really just want to get this light dark separation and still get a clear shadow read. Probably a 6B pencil would help to darken the shadows in the blue area of the suit. Whoops, that's the wrong side, but okay. Yeah, I think this is pretty okay. I just need to maybe come back in and get a bit more clarity in the line work. So I'm pressing fairly firmly now, and doing so I commit a bit more. But it's still just pencil work. So were I to use some ink, I'd still have plenty of opportunity to improve or change things. And one of those things to probably improve is how this bicep attaches, but okay. And well, I'm getting quite impatient now, which is never a good sign. Pretty much always a sign that it's time to take a break. On this rendering, in my opinion, deserves some attention. some care. And now I'm starting to rush. So I think I'll take a break and when I return I can finish it and maybe at least prevent myself from getting too sloppy. One thing I do want to do before taking a break is kind of getting the line work somewhat finalized. So that I have at least something to hold on to, latch onto when I return. There we go. So, okay, it's starting to be very tempting to continue. Darkening this leg. Again, not paying enough attention to the hatching direction. It is just good clean fun at this point. Well, it was already good clean fun, of course, but now even more so. Having some fun with the hatching and building of the values. And I'm getting that nice distinction between the light part of the suit versus the black part, the dark part, the blue. So that is starting to work out. And well, it just depends now on how much time I want to take. I think I'm gonna hold myself to my personal promise that it's time for a break. And then after the break, see what I can still do. Final outline for the hand and the thumb. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching for now. And, oops, one more Thanks for watching for now, and see you next time again. Bye bye. Let me just finish this. That should also be shaded, definitely. Yep. Okay then. Wait. Just a little smudging. A very quick pass. Yes. Now I am really gonna say goodbye. Cheers. See you next time.